This is the Roulette Master. I just received an unbelievable email from a guy named Evan, and he says that he has the loophole that it takes to beat the casino playing roulette, and I cannot wait to share with you what he's come up with because I didn't know this, and man, this is incredible. And today, we're going to put his incredible system up against one that's been doing really well lately, and this is going to be third column and black. We're going to start with that first, and here we go. We're going to start with $15 on black, and then we're going to have $10 on third column. That's a $25 total bet, and let's spin. I can't wait to see which one of these systems makes the most money in 15 minutes. This is going to be unbelievable. I can't wait to share with you this loophole to playing automated roulette. You can bet on as many numbers as you want, and the rules don't apply anymore. So that is fantastic. Okay, we lost that one, so we're going to increase by the amount that we started with, and let's go ahead and spin again. So we started with 10 on the column, 15 on the color. We increased by that amount. That's a $10 win there. You can see we're not in profit, so we just rebet and spin again, and let's see what we get here. That is a 35 black. All right, that's a $10 win. We will take it, and we're at -5. You see we're not in session profit. We rebet again, and you can see we also have some jackpot numbers. There's four black jackpot numbers in the third column. That's a 12 red there. And that's a $10 win, and we're up 5 now. Let's just rebet and spin, and if we get one more, we'll reset back to base level. That's a 22 black. And that's a $10 win. You might say, well, man, how are we getting so many wins? That's incredible. And let's go back to 25 here, and then I'll share with you why. We're back to 10 on third column and 15 on black. All right, let's go ahead and spin, and I'll explain it to you now. So you have all 18 numbers that are black, plus you also have all the red numbers in the third column. So you see we have 8 of those. So you add 8 plus 18, guess what you get? 26 numbers are covered, and we lost that one, so we're going to increase by what we started with and spin. This is a fantastic way to play roulette, and that's a 17 black, and it leaves you 4 jackpot numbers as well. That's a $10 win. Let's rebet and spin. We're going to stay at the same level until we're at or near session profit, and that's a 1 red there. Okay, that's a loss, so we're going to increase by what we started with. Again, that's always 15 on the color and 10 on the column. So that's a $70 bet. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a $20 win. Fantastic. So we are at -30. We're just going to rebet and spin. Let's check those amounts. So we're at 40 and 30 right now. Let's go ahead and spin. So we started at 15. Actually, I think that one might be $5 off. I better double check that. And that's a loss. Let's check it out. So we started at 15, then it went to 30. Should have been at 45, so it's going to be at 60 now. So let's go ahead and do that. And then this one started at 10, 20, 30. So it should be at 40 now. And now we're at $100 total bet. So I made a little bit of a mistake there, but we corrected it. And that's what you should do when you're playing roulette. You know, if you make a mistake, just fix it and move on. And that's a nice $20 win there. We're at -80. Let's rebet and spin. But this one goes up by the same amount that you start with after each loss. And that's a 27 red. All right, that's a $20 win. We're at -60. We'll rebet and spin. And we still have those 4 black numbers there lurking that can really help us out. That is a 3 red there, and that's another win. $20 win. We're at -40. We will rebet and spin. And here we go. A lot more losses than normal and that's a 35 black there. There's another $20 win. We're at -20. And a lot more losses than normal early, but that's okay. You know, it's much better if we can show you how to recover from lots of losses, and that's what we're going to do right now. So we're going to increase by what we started with again. That's 15 on the color, 10 on the column, and let's spin again. Excuse me. And here we go. That's a 10 black. That's a $25 win. We're at -95. We will rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 13 black. Another $25 win. We're at minus 70, and we just need to be patient. Let's just rebet and spin, and we'll get back on top again. This is a great way to play. Lots of coverage and still have some jackpot numbers. That's a 4 black. That's a $25 win. We're at minus 45. Let's rebet and spin. Here we go. I can't wait to share with you guys the Black Stallion. This has answered a lot of my questions about automated roulette. And we finally hit a jackpot, $175 win. Now we're up 130 bucks. How about that? So we'll be back to 15 on black and then 10 on third column, and let's spin. All right, here we go. That was fantastic. And that's a 4 black. It's a $5 win there. We're up 135. Let me make sure those bets are right. Yeah, it should be 15 on the color. And, yep, 10 on the column. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 34 red. And that's a loss. So we're going to increase by what we started with and spin. And here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. That's a 22 black. Okay, that's a $10 win there, and we're up 120. We're just going to rebet and spin, and let's see what we get. And that's a 0, and that's not good for this one, but that's okay. We just increased by what we started with, so we'll go up 15 on the color, up 10 on the column, and it's always the same. You don't even have to think about it. It's just automatic. That's a 27 red. Okay, that's a $15 win. We're up 85. Let's rebet and spin. And we're going to get lots of wins because we do have 26 numbers covered. Again, all 18 black numbers plus the 8 red numbers there. And that's a nice $15 win there. We're up 100. We will rebet and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 12 red. Okay, $15 win. We're up 115. Let's rebet and spin. So really nice coverage here with still the possibility of jackpots. And because there's only 4 of them, it doesn't take away from, the wins of the other bets. And we lost that one. Let's increase again. 15 on the color, 10 on the column, and let's spin. We're at $100 total bet now. And here we go. That's a 30 red. Okay, that's a $20 win. We're up 60. Let's build it back up again. And here we go. Oh my goodness, another 0. This one's a double 0 though. And that one hurt a little, but that's okay. We'll come back. 15, 10, and you can see that dropped us to minus 40. For the first time in a while, we're down a little bit. We still have plenty of time to come back, and sometimes you hit zeros, and this is one that hurts you a little. And look at that. That's a $175 jackpot win. We're back up 135. We'll go back to where we started. So when you hit the jackpots, go ahead and go back to 15 and 10. And start over and spin. And here we go. Okay, that is a 3 red. $5 win there. We're up 140. We'll rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 21 red. Okay, $5 win. We're up 145. And you can see we have $10 on the column, 15 on the color. And that's because there's 18 numbers with black. And on the column, you just have 12. But you also, the reason you have 26 is because you have the 8 red numbers in that column. Plus, you have all the black numbers. So let's go ahead and spin again at base level. We're up 150. And here we go. Okay, that's a 31 black. It's a $5 win. We're up 155. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 17 black. Okay, another win there. We're up 160. Let's rebet and spin. All right, let's keep it rolling and keep making profit. That's a 17 black. Okay, $5 win. We're up 165. Again, when you lose, you increase by the amount that you started with. You don't double. And that's another 0. Boy, we've hit a lot of those today. So let's increase by what we started with again. So 15 and 10, and then spin. Then we'll check our balance after this spin. Here we go. That's a 30 red. $10 win. We're up 150. We'll rebet and spin and try to get some new profit here. That's a 3 red. That's a win. Okay, we are up 160. We'll rebet and spin again. And then here pretty soon we'll drop back to base level. That's another win. 3 red. Let's drop back to base level. So we'll go 15 on black. And then 10 on third column and spin. And if you want to, you can switch to red, and I'll share with you how that works. So if you switch to red, you want to bet on second column. So it'd be red and second column. We lost that one, so let's increase by what we started with. So the 10 on the column goes to 20, and the 15 on the color goes to 30. And that is a $50 loss. We're going to do the same thing again. 15 on the color, and then 10 on the column, and spin. Now we're at $75 total bet. And almost hit 00 again. My goodness, that's a 1 red though. Either way, we lost, so we have to go up again. 15 on black, 10 on the column, and spin. Then we'll check our balance again and get it back. That's a 6 black. That's another $140 jackpot. How about that? We're back up 160. And that's the cool thing about jackpots. Let's play it with red now. So we're going to go 15 on red, 10 on second column, and basically the same thing is happening, but it's the opposite. So here we go. That's a 19 red. You can see the wins are the same. We're up 165. We'll rebet and spin. Here we go. All right. That is a 34 red. And that's a $5 win. And it looks like we're getting lots of red, though. Let's switch back to black. So let's go 15 black, and then 10 on third column. So the black goes with third column. The red goes with second. That's how you get to the 26 numbers. And let's spin. Okay, you wouldn't have that many numbers if you picked another one because there wouldn't be more red numbers there. And that's a $5 win. We're up 175. All right, let's rebet and spin. The nice thing is you don't have to hit both. You just need to hit one of the two. And that's a $5 win. We're up 180. So we'll rebet and spin. Still at base level, and here we go. Okay, that's a 15 black. And anytime you hit black, you know that, oh, that was a jackpot, guys. Now we're up 215. How about that? So, yeah, we'll stay right where we are at base level, but that's nice. Now we're back up. Now we're up $215. Even after all the losses we've had, we're doing really well with this. And that's a 7 red. Okay, that's a loss, so let's increase by what we started with. The 10 goes to 20. The 15 goes to 30, and let's spin. But remember, we're not doubling. We're increasing by the amount we started with each time we lose. That's a $10 win. We're up 200. We'll rebet and spin. And we're cruising right along with this one. Let's keep making some money here, and then we'll get to that incredible new Black Stallion roulette system, and I can't wait to share that with you. So let's rebet and spin and get our profit back up there. Okay, that's a 33 black. That's a $70 jackpot win. How about that? Now we're up 280. Well, that's awesome. Let's drop back to 25 where we started. Again, 15 on the color, 10 on the column, and what's fun hitting jackpots? That's a 29 black, and that's another win. Okay, so we're up 285. We'll rebet and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 19 red. Okay, that is a loss. We'll increase by what we started with and spin. Here we go. That's a 1 red, and that is a loss. We'll increase by what we started with again. 15 on the color, 10 on the column. We're up $210, and let's go ahead and spin. There we go. That's a 7 red. We lost again. We'll increase by what we started with. 15 on the color, 10 on the column, and every time you do that, your bet goes up $25 because it's always the same. And that's a 13 black. That's a win. $20 win. We'll rebet and spin. See if we can get some multiple wins here. We We have nice coverage with 26 numbers, so let's get some wins. That's a 25 red, but we lost again. Man, lots of bad losses. So 15 on the color, 10 on the column. We're only at 55 for a second, but we'll build it back up here, and then we'll get to that new system of the day. Okay, that's a 33 black. Hey, that's another jackpot, $175 win. And actually, we're right at the 15-minute mark. So we made $230 profit with black and third column. But remember, you can also play red and second column. 26 numbers covered, 4 jackpots. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And now it is time for the incredible new Black Stallion roulette system. Let's get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the unbelievable new Black Stallion roulette system. One of my subscribers, Evan, says he has unlocked the secret to playing automated roulette. The casinos try to hold you to where you can only play, 2 dozens when you're playing automated roulette. If you try to place the additional bets, it won't let you. And he has figured out how to bet where 30 numbers will not hurt you. And I'm going to share with you exactly how he's doing it and how you can start winning playing automated roulette this way. And he says the real secret is that the casinos don't take into account the number of black and red numbers in the columns. They're focused on the columns, the dozens, and the reason that they limit the numbers that you can bet on is because they don't want people cashing out free play. And you're going to be able to do that with this system as well. So this is going to be awesome. We're going to put $25 on second column and $25 on first column, and then we're going to have 20 on black and 5 on 000. That's a $75 starting bet, but don't worry about how high the bet is because we're not going to increase like you're going to see with other systems. This is going to be fantastic. So let's go ahead and spin, and I'm going to share with you how this Black Stallion roulette system works. And that is a 17 black. Okay, that's a $40 win to start. How about that for a start? Let's just rebet and spin, and then once we have losses, I'll share with you what to do next. Here we go. That's a 00, and we get wins on 000 with this system. They're $15 wins, and we'll take it. We're at 55. We'll rebet and spin. And one nice thing about this is, a lot of high coverage systems like this, if you hit the 0, it's catastrophic. It doesn't matter. We're going to win on the zeros with this system, and that's a $35 loss. So when we have $35 losses, which are not total losses, we're going to keep the bet the same and spin again. We're not going to increase the bets. And here we go. That's an 18 red. And that's a total loss. So now we are going to increase the bet, and we're going to increase it by the amount that we started with. We're not going to double, even though the first one is a double. We're going to go up by the amount we started with full losses on this, and that's a 10 black. That's an $80 win. How about that? We're up 25. We're not in session profit, so we're just going to rebet and spin with the incredible new Black Stallion roulette system, and I think this is going to really take off now. Let's see. And it breaks even if you hit any of the red numbers in the first and second column, and that's fine. Let's just spin again. It won't hurt us any. It just builds comp credit, and you don't have to worry about it hitting the zeros and losing all the amount that you bet on there. There's a nice $80 win there. We're up 105. So it's time to go back to 75 where we started. Let me put that $5 bet back on the 000 and spin. And 30 numbers will not hurt you with this system. And we'll go over why here in a second. That is a 17 black. That's a nice $40 win. Now we're up 145. Let's rebet and spin. And we have all the black numbers covered, which is 18 numbers. Plus, we have all these red numbers in the first and second column that will not hurt us. And obviously, the 000 is wins. So that's 30 numbers that will not hurt you. And you can play this on automated roulette. Even though most people, when you play automated roulette, it stops you after 2 dozens, and that's a $40 win. We're up 185. And again, the reason they do that is to keep you from cashing out your free play because you can add your free play on there, but you can't do it with the live dealer. So this is a way to cash out your free play very easily. Now we're up 225. Let's rebet and spin. We're still at base level. This is exciting because I think a lot of you are starting to play more automated roulette and less at the live dealer, but either way, you can play this system, and that's a $40 win. We're up 265. So even if you're with the live dealer, this is a great way to play also, but this opens up a lot of new opportunities for people playing automated roulette. That's a $35 loss, and remember, we do not increase the bet on those partial losses. We only go up by the amount we started with or the unit size every time that we have a full loss. And that's why we can start with a higher bet amount. Again, we lost 2 in a row there at 35 each. We're not going to increase the bet. We don't need to. And here we go. That's a 17 black, and that's another nice win. That's a $40 win. We're up 235. And we're still at base level. We're going to stay at base level a lot because you're not going to have that many total losses. There's only 8 numbers that can hurt you. And that's a $40 win. We're up 275. We'll rebet and spin with the fantastic new Black Stallion Roulette system. And it almost hit the 20 or the 17. That would have been nice. But either way, that's a break even. That will not hurt us any. And we're up 275. All that's doing is building up comp credit and getting you those tier credits. That's a 22 black. That's a nice $40 win. We're up $315. And we are cruising right now. And I think it's going to continue to cruise. We'll find out, though. We're going to test this for the full 15 minutes like we always do. That's another break even. And again, 30 numbers will not hurt you. And we have 20 numbers that will have nice wins. And that's an 8 black. And that's because we have 18 black numbers. And then we have, and that's a nice win there. We're up 355. We have the 000 and all 18 black numbers that really help us out. And then lots of numbers that won't hurt us. That's a 19 red. That's a break even. Won't hurt us any. We're up 355. The systems you don't want to play that have break evens are the ones where the 000 are not covered because they can really hurt you. Those systems can really hurt you. And that's a nice win there on 0. We're up 370. Let's rebet and spin. We're still at base level here. And again, the reason they can hurt you is because you don't want to play a system where you have lots of break evens if you hit the 000 and you lose it all. So don't play those ones. And that was a full loss there. So we're going to increase by the amount we started with each time we have one of those 8 numbers that are full losses. And that's a 3 red. And that is another full loss. So we're going to increase by the amount we started with, but this time we have to do it individually. So we're going to add 25 to each column. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then add 20 to black. And then we're going to add $5 to 000. Now we're at 225 total bet. This is a $2,000 bankroll system. And let's get going now. That's a 2 black. Okay, that's a nice $120 win. We will take that, and we're up $265. And you can see we hit the second column and also black there. So let's go ahead and spin again, and then get one more win, and then we will restart. And that's a 35 black there. How about that? That's a $120 win. We're up 385, back near session profit. We're going to restart. Let's put the bets back out so you can see them again where we start. 25, 25, 20, and 5. That's $75. Let's go ahead and spin. And the Black Stallion Roulette system just recovered nicely there. It can hit the zeros or it can hit whatever. We're going to be okay with this one. That's a break even. And we have 30 numbers that will not hurt us. And you can play this on automated roulette. And when I first saw this, I sent something to my casino host and said, did you know I figured out a way to, well, I didn't figure it out, but I learned a way to, and we're just going to stay in the same spot because that was a partial loss, but learned a way to cash out that free play instantly. And that's a 12 red. I used to do it with Game King because it was really easy, but then I found out Game King was pretty much rigged. So let's go ahead and increase by what we started with and spin. But the automated roulette, I've talked to everybody at G2E, and they all say that it is not rigged. It is legitimate. The ones where the ball falls and rolls around, and that's a nice $80 win there. We're up 355. Let's drop back to 75 where we started and spin. And but stay away from the Game King. I've seen things on YouTube where they have a chip in them that regulates payback, so I would not use those. And especially now that you figured out how to use higher coverage on the automated machines. Okay, so we're going to have to increase and spin. And here we go. But again, there's only 8 numbers that can hurt you. And that's a 19 red. That's a break even. Won't hurt us any. We're just building up comp credit. We'll rebet and spin. And again, 30 numbers that won't hurt us, 8 that will. And that's a good win on 00. It's not as big as a black number that's also in the column, but we'll take a $30 win. We're up 310, and we'll just rebet and spin. And I love winning on the zeros. It's such a nice change. That is a 21 red. And that's a total loss. So we're going to increase by what we started with. Again, that's 25 on the columns. And then 20 on the color. And then we got $5 on 000. So we're at 225 total bet now. That dropped us to 160 profit temporarily. But that's a nice win there on 35 black. So we'll take that. $120 win. We're back up 280. We will rebet and spin. And here we go with the Black Stallion roulette system. That is a 16 red. That's a break even. Won't hurt us any. We're up 280. We will rebet and spin. And again, we got 30 numbers working for us here. Only 8 that hurt us. That's a 29 black. And we'll take a $120 win there. We're at 400 bucks. So let's drop back now to 75, where we started. And this is pure gold. And the fact that you can use this on an automated machine where normally they limit you to 2 dozens is fantastic. And again, I think the reason for that, we're at 440 now. Boy, this is just awesome. The reason for that, again, is because they don't want people cashing out their free play, because you can get your free play on your account button playing automated roulette. And there's a $75 total loss, so we'll increase by what we started with and spin. And they didn't factor in that, there's a couple columns that have 8 of each color, which allows you to bet more numbers, that is. And we're at 395. Let's rebet and spin, see if we can get back over $400 profit again. And here we go. That is a 4 black. How about that? That's an $80 win. We're up 475. Let's drop back to 75 and spin. And just so many numbers working in our favor here. That is a 12 red. Okay, and that is a total loss, so we'll increase by what we started with. Again, 25 on the columns, 20 on the color, 5 on the 000, and that's a 15 black. Okay, $70 loss. That's not a full loss, so we just rebet and spin. On partial losses, we don't do anything with this system, and that's a 6 black. And that's a $70 loss. We don't do anything with that. We're still up 260. We do not increase the bet. And that's how we can start with the higher bet, because we're not going to be increasing when we do that. And that's a 32 red. That's a break even. Won't hurt us any. Still up 260 even after all those losses. But let's see if we can get a black number that's in the first and second column now. And that's a 16 red. That is not a black number, but it won't hurt us because it's in the first and second column. We're still up 260. Let's rebet and spin. And come on, black numbers. And maybe the 0 there. I could see that one coming. We'll take a win on the 0 anytime. And we're up 290. It's always fun to win on the zeros. And let's build it back up. Here we go. Let's get a black number. Oh, we almost got the 20. That would have been nice. But we'll take a break even. That won't hurt us any. Okay, we're still up 290. And let's spin. And what a great way to cash out your free play as well. Hit the 0. Oh, that's a 14 red there. Another break even. Won't hurt us any. And we're having so many, break evens, but who cares? Because the 000 can't ruin us when we have those bets like that. And we have 30 numbers that won't hurt us. That's a nice $80 win. We're up 370, and let's get back over $400 profit again here. And that's a 5 red. Well, that's a break even. Won't hurt us any. We're up 370. Again, only 8 numbers that can hurt us. That's fantastic. And there we go, 17 black. It's been kind of toying around with the 17 and the 20, but missing them. And now we're back at $450. We'll sure take that and go back to 75. Again, 5 on 000, 20 on black, and 25 on first and second column for a $75 total bet. And that is a 3 red there. And that's a total loss. So let's go ahead and increase by what we started with. We're still up $375. And let's spin. All right, we'll take a double zero. Any win is good. That's a $30 win. We're back up 405. Let's rebet and spin. If we can get another good win, we can reset. I was going to hit the zero there, but that's a 28 black, and we will take an $80 win. We're back up 485. We're going to drop back to 75 and spin. And I know this was all about automated roulette, but you can play this live deal or online, whatever you want to do. It's a great way to play, but it really changes the rules for automated roulette. We're up 485, and again, I think that's because the casinos don't factor in how many colors are in each of those columns, or the makers of the machines didn't think about it, and that is a zero. That's probably why in Las Vegas, there's starting to be a lot of places that don't let you use your free play on roulette. But around the country, it's still, most places still let you do it. That's an 11 black. That's a $40 win. We're at 525. Boy, this is awesome. I'm loving this system, and let's see how it finishes down the stretch here. And almost hit the 20 and the 17 again, but we'll take a break even there, and we're up 525. Let's rebet and spin. And boy, this has just been an incredible way to play automated roulette, but really you can play this anyway. And that is a full loss there, so we're going to increase by what we started with. Don't want to say the word double because we're not doubling. And that's a 24 black. Okay, that's a $70 loss there. We don't increase the bet on that. That's a partial loss. And let's spin. Let's see if we can get a black number, or a double zero works too. And that's fantastic. $30 win, and we just hit the 15-minute mark. So after 15 minutes with the Black Stallion roulette system, we made $410 profit very easily. And thank you, Evan, for sending this in. You changed everything. I was, thinking about automated roulette, and made it way, way better. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. And if you are enjoying the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep growing this community of people that really loves roulette. Every day we test out new systems in search of the best ones, and I sure love it, and I hope you guys do as well. I'm having a lot of fun, and look forward to getting back to Las Vegas this next week. So should be a fantastic week. And this is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.